we got lesson 4-2, moving right along. Okay, 4-1 was percents and fractions. And 4-2 is percents and decimals. I think this is the easier of the two, to be honest with you. All right, let's first start out with changing percent to a decimal. When you change a percent to a decimal, you are dividing by 100. That's in essence what you're doing mathematically. Okay? So here's how this works. So if you have 20% and they want you to change that into a decimal, okay, where is the decimal point on 20%? No. Okay, I think she said the end. Okay, it's actually right here. This is what it really looks like, right? Again, we don't write that because that looks funny. Okay, but that's actually what's going on. If we divide by 100, which way is the decimal moving? If you divide, it goes to the left. If you multiply, it goes to the right. Oopsie poopsie. Okay, so how many places do we know that it's going? We look at the zeros, it's going 2 places to the left. So, and you can do this on the easier ones, you can do this mentally. Okay, I mean, truly, you're just, excuse me, looking at it and moving it 2 places to the left. Now, looky. We have 20% and we're changing that to a decimal. Okay. How do we read that decimal number? Mason? Okay, 2/10. That is correct. That means, children, you don't need that 0 on there. Max might want to pay attention. You don't need the 0. Can you put it? Yes. But again, it's like the 0 out front. If you don't need it, we generally don't write it. Okay, because if you're reading it 2/10, there's no sense for the 0. Right? And whatever you do, please don't read it 20 hundreds. Somebody will laugh at you later on in life. I don't want that to happen to you. Okay? We don't read it that way. We go to the last place value with the whole number. Okay? And we talked about this earlier in the year, and that's how you read that number. All right? What if we have 4% and we want to turn that into a decimal? Okay, again, it looks like this, right? That's really what it looks like. Now, that looks funny to me. Does it look funny to you? Yeah, it does, because we don't put the decimal points on whole numbers. You just don't do that here. Okay, that's why it looks funny. It really does. But I don't have a problem with you doing that in order to move the decimal point the correct places, okay, to get the right answer. So now we have, right, we got to divide by 100 again, which now is moving it 2 places to the left. What do we got to add in that empty well? We got to add a 0 there. So 4% really looks like for hundredths. Now that 0 does have a value, okay, because it's before the whole number. Okay, now that 0 is important. Does that make sense? Okay, this is no different. I mean, we're going to go off topic here just for 1 second, but something called a sales tax. You've heard of this, yes? If you buy an item, right, there's a tax associated with it, yes? Okay, does anybody know what it is here in Stark County, just for giggles, roughly? When you go buy something, the sales tax here, do you know? Anybody? What is it? I believe at the moment it's 6.5%. So that means really simple math. When you buy something for $1, right? You find something in the store that costs $1. When you go up to the register to purchase it, children, they're going to ask for $1.07. Okay, they are going to round that up to 7 cents. Okay, because there's no such thing as a half a penny. Okay, and I'm pretty sure they're not going to round down. Okay, so just realize that that's actually coming down the road here. That's going to be lesson 4.4, but okay, but that's associated with this. All right, so let's keep going. What happens if we have 180% and we want to change that to a decimal? Okay, again, where's the decimal point? At the end, right? Moving it 2 places to the left. What are we going to write for our answer? Chase? Very good, sir. 1 8/10. That is correct. Can you put the 0 on there if you want? Yeah, but you don't need it. Because if you heard, if you heard what he just said, 1 8/10. You don't need any zeros afterwards. Okay. And the last one here, if we have something that the percent already is a decimal, 92 7/10%. Okay, that shouldn't throw us for a loop. We already know where the decimal is. The percent sign means to divide by 100. So we move it 2 places to the left. So 92 7/10% is 927 thousandths as a decimal. All right, everybody good with the percent to a decimal, yes? Yes? Okay. Let's go the other route. Let's go a decimal to a percent. We're just going the other way, right? Now, I will tell you this, right, this isn't hard, right? I just said that. But the problem is where you will make your mistakes, I see it all the time, you will move the decimal the wrong way. That's really the only issue here in this lesson. You're moving the decimal the wrong way, right? So if you have 47 hundredths and you want to change that to a percent, you multiply by 100, which moves the decimal 2 places to the right now, and you get 47%. Now, we can't really do it this year because on Edulastic, I don't want you to get consumed with putting the percent sign on there, but technically you do need one on there. Okay. So it's a double-edged sword here. I would get in the habit of putting a percent sign on, But yet when you take the quiz, I'm not going to require it because then that's going to count it wrong, and you know how that goes, right? But you should understand that there is a percent sign tacked on here, right? When will it be? Not next Monday or Tuesday. Yeah. All right. So here's another one, right? Again, this is pretty easy stuff. 663,000. If we want to turn that into a percent, we multiply that by 100. It moves 2 places to the right. Okay, and this is where you would have to be careful because now your percent does have a decimal in there. 66 3/10%. Okay, so yes, percents can have decimals. Sure they can. All right, how about this decimal? 1 2/10. 1 2/10 is equal to what percent? Michael? All right, so we have to move it 1, 2. That is correct. We have an empty well there. So just because something isn't there doesn't mean that we don't, to add the zeros. Okay, so 1 2/10, that's bigger than 100%. That's 120%. All right, so far so good? Okay, so if you look in the book pages, there's a really good triangle there. Now you don't have to now, but I'm just drawing it for you here. And this is really important because you're going to have to be able to bounce back and forth between these. You're going to, if given a percentage, you're going to have to find the fraction. Okay, given the fraction, you might have to find the decimal. Given the decimal, you might have to find the fraction. Given the decimal, you might have to find the percentage. Given the percentage, you might have to find the decimal. Okay, so there's a lot of different concepts going on. You've got to know, do I multiply by 100? Do I divide by 100? Do I have to find a common denominator of 100? Right? So there's a lot of different, not saying that it's hard, just a lot of different concepts that you got to get straight in your head of, okay, which way am I going and what do I have to do mathematically? Does that make sense? All right. Everybody good? Any questions? Everybody good? Okay, I believe in Friday's folder there is 4.2. Okay, now go with me on this. There's start thinking and a warm up. Okay, / warm up. Okay, and there is a practice 4.2. Okay. You have the rest of the time to get started on those. Okay, how comfortable do you feel taking a picture before Monday? Pretty good, right? What? Well, that's what I'm asking you. Okay, we can come in Monday and do it, or do you want to do it on your own tonight? All right. Well, I'll give you the option. How's that? You either take a picture, send it to me because the link is there. I'll give it to you. Okay, or you can, or if you don't want to, and you still, we'll come in Monday. We'll take a picture and we'll move on from there. Okay, so you have that choice. I'll let you out there. All right.